With the Scottish referendum fast approaching, locals in Inverclyde put together a night of comedy, music and drinks. The event was held at 1 Ashton Road by Indyclyde in aid to help the Yes campaign gain more voters. A survey for Channel 4 News held between April the 25th to the 28th found that 51% of people questioned are planning to vote no, in comparison to 37% of people who will be voting yes, with 12% being undecided.
I think it's really important for people to have a cultural place where they can come and speak to other people who are supporters of independence and supporters of independence along lines of social justice as well.
The referendum campaign has clearly ignited something in Scotland. In towns, in cities, in campuses across the country, people are beginning to ask, what sort of society do we want to live in? What sort of society do we live in right now, and what sort of society do we want to live in? And those people are beginning to get organised. And I can see that here tonight and in all the other meetings I've been in. The ideas about what we could do in Scotland are beginning to bubble over. And actually, the vote on 18th September, no matter which way it goes, no matter what happens, we can't demobilise after that. The referendum has created one of the biggest grassroots movements in Scotland's history. Whatever happens, particularly in the event of a yes vote, but whatever happens, we need to stay mobilised, we need to stay organised, and we need to make sure that we make social change a reality.
It's an event to which I was invited to perform, which is espousing, pushing the independence movement and the ideas behind pro-independence through the medium of music, comedy, and just a general good time, as far as I understand it.
I'm a strong supporter of independence, and I think that comedy is a really great way of sort of getting people engaged and dispelling there's a lot of apathy, I think, surrounding politics, and I think events like this, comedy, music, are a great way to get people engaged again and have a good time, but also get them on board and thinking about the debate.
I mean, there's space for debates, but it's good that there's space for this kind of stuff too.
What will change in an independent Scotland? Decisions will be made by the people who live and work in Scotland. We can remove Trident from Scotland for good. An economic policy that benefits Scotland will replace an economic policy which disproportionately benefits London and the southeast of England.
I won over a no voter today. And I'll be honest with you, it wasn't just any no voter, it was my dad. When I've spoken at other meetings, I've talked about my dad before, and my dad is a lifelong Labour Party supporter. And I remember in '97 him being overjoyed that Tony Blair got into power. He'd mentioned, he was like, he calls me Katrina, actually. He was like, Katrina, you keep talking about me in your speeches, you make me sound like Pa Brown or something. And I was like, no, Dad, it's actually really important, because a lot of people felt like that in '97. But for me, the way that you felt in '97 when we win independence is how I'm going to feel.
Carry party. Scotland is a funny land, its people quaint and mild, until we get to Friday night when things get awfully wild. There's something in the air, you see, that gets into our psyche, but that's just how it is round here. We take the rough with the spiky. Historically, our politics have never been much cop, but when the bevy's flowing, there's no time for talking shop. And yet this time next year we have to make a big decision. I'd rather be in the boozer too, but wait, I have a vision. An independent Scotland where the rain is made of whiskey. Just simply stick your tongue out, you'll be reeking in a jiffy. And after the rain in a saltire sky, a sozzled sun will shine. From Kelso up to Lerwick we'll be towing the party lines. The pipes will play to banging beats, we'll dance into a frenzy, and we'll get rid of that voice on the ScotRail train that when you try to kip says, Lindsay. Our chat won't be of Europe, but of landing on the moon, as Parliament reverberates to the chant of one more tune. And come the thistly morning, in a tartan patchwork quilt, tending to our migraines and our Presbyterian guilt, we'll muse upon our country, and astounded by our bravery, we'll check the list for club nights, then nip out for a wee cheese pasty. So on the day of the referendum, let's all go on the pish. We'll head down to the polling booth and make a little wish. Which box to tick? Come on, I think you all already know. The only way to vote is here we fucking go.
Scotland the brave. Bold hearts and nodding plumes wave o'er their bloody tombs. Deep iron and gore is the green tartan's wave. Shivering are the ranks of steel. Dire is